Welcome to Coursalance, your online platform to cater your all learning requirements. In this video, we will learn the essentials of project management and its different components. Project management had been around as long as people have been around. It's like the color red, which didn't exist until it was named. The fact is, old structures such as the pyramids, the Pantheon or the aqueducts of ancient Rome were projects in everything but name. There were people in charge of managing them or they never would have gotten done. Project management isn't new, but the history of project management is a relatively new development. It's only once the discipline had been codified that we could start to look back and identify key points in time that contributed to its development, such as the creation of the Gantt Chart and the Agile Manifesto. Let's start at the beginning and sketch out the rich history of project management. But know that, though historic, project management isn't a dusty relic of the past. It continues to grow and influence the way people do almost anything that has a start and a finish. The prehistory of project management. Before the profession of project management was defined, there were projects, but they didn't share many of the foundations that hold up project management today. The pharaohs built the pyramids of Egypt around 2500 BC, and to this day we aren't certain how they accomplished such a vast task. But records do show that there were managers, even back then, who were responsible for each of the four faces of the Great Pyramid. In 208 BC the Great Wall of China was constructed, but there are records that indicate the planning went back even further. Historical data reveals that the workforce for this large project was organized into groups. There were three that we know of: soldiers, common people and criminals. Millions were ordered to complete the project. More recently, the need for a more pronounced structure in construction, manufacturing and transportation in the 19th century led to the birth of project management as we recognize it today. Examples include the building of the Transcontinental Railroad and the building the satellite. While there might not have been task management, scope or workload considerations at the time, there was certainly leadership at play, and there must have been some budget, even if open-ended, and scheduling of some sort. But with practice came process and refinement, as we shall see moving forwards. Project management is not new. It has been in use for hundreds of years. Examples of project outcomes include Pyramids of Giza, Olympic Games, Great Wall of China, Taj Mahal, publication of a children's book, Panama Canal. Outcomes of these projects were the result of leaders and managers applying project management practices, principles, processes, tools, and techniques to their work. The managers of these projects used a set of key skills and applied knowledge to satisfy their customers and other people involved in and affected by the project. By the mid-20th century, project managers began the work of seeking recognition for project management as a profession. It wasn't until the 1900s that project management as we know it began to take form. As projects became industrialized, the process to manage them also experienced a revolution. The principles of scientific management. In 1911, the publication of Frederick Taylor's The Principle of Scientific Management, which he based on his work in the steel industry, was an attempt to help unskilled workers transition to new, more complex projects by simple learning techniques. He pioneered the need for incentive-based wage systems, and how to take advantage of time-saving techniques. The Gantt Chart. Henry Gantt might be the father of modern project management. In 1917, he created the eponymous scheduling diagram. It was an innovation. He used a visual timeline to plot tasks as points with durations, and linked them if they were dependent. That way, everyone could see the schedule more clearly. The Gantt chart was the short heard around the project management world. It was used in the building of the Hoover Dam in 1931, which was one of its first major implementations. Gantt charts continue to be used today and have transitioned to the digital world with online versions that make them easier to use. The American Association of Cost Engineers, now called the AS International, AS was formed by a collection of project managers and associated specialists of planning, scheduling, cost estimating and other related fields. It continues today as one of the leading professional societies of project managers and related fields. In 2006, they released the first integrated process for portfolio, program and project management with their total cost management framework. The critical path. The critical path is a technique that is used to predict how long a project will take. It analyzes which sequence of activities has the least amount of scheduling flexibility. The technique was developed by DuPont in 1957 to help work through the complexities of shuttering chemical plants for routine maintenance. The critical path proved so successful that it saved DuPont $1 million the first year it used it. Program Evaluation Review. In 1958, the United States Department of Defense's U.S. Navy Special Projects Office developed the Program Evaluation Review, PERT. It was developed as a method to analyze the tasks involved in completing a Polaris mobile submarine-launched ballistic missile project. It focused on the time needed to complete each task and identified the minimum amount of time required to finish the whole project. Work Breakdown Structure. Another commonly used method of project management, the Work Breakdown Structure, WBS, first came about in the United States Department of Defense. The WBS is a complete hierarchical tree structure of the deliverables and tasks needed to complete a project. It was also part of the Polaris project. After the project was done, the Department of Defense published the WBS, and in 1962, mandated the procedure's use for future projects. The International Project Management Association. In 1965, the International Project Management Association, IPMA, was founded. It is the world's first project management association. Founded in Vienna as a means for project managers to network, the organization is now registered in Switzerland and is compiled of 50 national and internationally oriented project management associations. As of 2012, it had over 120,000 members. The Project Management Institute. The non-profit Project Management Institute, PMI, was founded by 5 volunteers in 1969. Incorporated in Pennsylvania, it held its first symposium in Atlanta in 1969. It has since published a guide to the project management body of knowledge, PMBOK, which outlines the processes and knowledge areas of project management and became standard in 1998. PMI is also a certification body, offering both the Certified Associate in Project Management, CAPM, and the Project Management Professional, PMP. Theory of Constraints. The management philosophy of the Theory of Constraints, TOC, was developed to help an organization meet its goals. The title comes from the idea that a manageable system is limited in achieving its goals by several constraints. It was first introduced by Dr. Eliyahu M. Goldratt in his 1984 novel The Goal. The theory was applied to the creation of the critical chain project management. Scrum. The agile software development model that incorporates multiple small teams working intensely and interdependently is known as Scrum, which was named as a project management style in 1986. The term comes from a paper first published in the Harvard Business Review called The New Product Development Game by Takeuchi and Nonaka. Developed for software management, it has since moved into use with general projects. Earned value management. The idea of an earned value concept isn't new. It's been around since the turn of the 1900s, but it came to prominence as technique in project management by 1989. Earned value management, EVM, helps measure project performance by using a systematic project management process to find variances in projects based on the comparison of work performed and work planned. It is a powerful predictor of cost and schedule control. PRINCE. The UK government created projects in controlled environments, PRINCE, as its standard for all information systems projects in 1989. It was revised in 1996 as PRINCE 2 due to criticism that it was too unwieldy and rigid, and therefore only suited for large projects. Critical Chain Project Management. In 1997, Eliyahu M. Goldratt developed Critical Chain Project Management, CCPM, which is based on the methods and algorithms of his theory of constraints. It keeps resources levelly loaded, while remaining flexible to their start times, and switching between tasks when necessary to keep the project on schedule. A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. A unique product, service, or result. Projects are undertaken to fulfill objectives by producing deliverables. An objective is defined as an outcome toward which work is to be directed, a strategic position to be attained, a purpose to be achieved, a result to be obtained, a product to be produced, or a service to be performed. A deliverable is defined as any unique and verifiable product, result, or capability to perform a service that is required to be produced to complete a process, phase, or project. Deliverables may be tangible or intangible. Fulfillment of project objectives may produce one or more of the following deliverables. A unique product that can be either a component of another item, an enhancement or correction to an item, or a new end item in itself. For example, the correction of a defect in an end item. A unique service or a capability to perform a service. For example, a business function that supports production or distribution. A unique result, such as an outcome or document. For example, a research project that develops knowledge that can be used to determine whether a trend exists or a new process will benefit society, and a unique combination of one or more products, services, or results. For example, a software application, its associated documentation, and help desk services. Repetitive elements may be present in some project deliverables and activities. This repetition does not change the fundamental and unique characteristics of the project work. For example, office buildings can be constructed with the same or similar materials and by the same or different teams. However, each building project remains unique in key characteristics, for example, location, design, environment, situation, people involved. Projects are undertaken at all organizational levels. A project can involve a single individual or a group. A project can involve a single organizational unit or multiple organizational units from multiple organizations. Examples of projects include developing a new pharmaceutical compound for market, expanding a tour guide service, merging two organizations, improving a business process within an organization, acquiring and installing a new computer hardware system for use in an organization, exploring for oil in a region, modifying a computer software program used in an organization, conducting research to develop a new manufacturing process, and constructing a building. Temporary endeavor. The temporary nature of projects indicates that a project has a definite beginning and end. Temporary does not necessarily mean a project has a short duration. The end of the project is reached when one or more of the following is true. The project's objectives have been achieved. The objectives will not or cannot be met, when funding is exhausted or no longer available for allocation to the project. The need for the project no longer exists. For example, the customer no longer wants the project completed, a change in strategy or priority ends the project, the organizational management provides direction to end the project. The human or physical resources are no longer available, or the project is terminated for legal cause or convenience. Projects are temporary, but their deliverables may exist beyond the end of the project. Projects may produce deliverables of a social, economic, material, or environmental nature. For example, a project to build a national monument will create a deliverable expected to last for centuries. Projects drive change. Projects drive change in organizations. From a business perspective, a project is aimed at moving an organization from one state to another state in order to achieve a specific objective. Before the project begins, the organization is commonly referred to as being in the current state. The desired result of the change driven by the project is described as the future state. For some projects, this may involve creating a transition state where multiple steps are made along a continuum to achieve the future state. The successful completion of a project results in the organization moving to the future state and achieving the specific objective. Projects enable business value creation. Project management defines business value as the net quantifiable benefit derived from a business endeavor. The benefit may be tangible, intangible, or both. In business analysis, business value is considered the return, in the form of elements such as time, money, goods, or intangibles in return for something exchanged. Business value in projects refers to the benefit that the results of a specific project provide to its stakeholders. The benefit from projects may be tangible, intangible, or both. Examples of tangible elements include monetary assets, stockholder equity, utility, fixtures, tools, and market share. Examples of intangible elements include goodwill, brand recognition, public benefit, trademarks, strategic alignment, and reputation. Project initiation context. Organizational leaders initiate projects in response to factors acting upon their organizations. There are 4 fundamental categories for these factors, which illustrate the context of a project. Meet regulatory, legal, or social requirements. Satisfy stakeholder requests or needs. Implement or change business or technological strategies, and create, improve, or fix products, processes, or services. These factors influence an organization's ongoing operations and business strategies. Leaders respond to these factors in order to keep the organization viable. Projects provide the means for organizations to successfully make the changes necessary to deal with these factors. These factors ultimately should link to the strategic objectives of the organization and the business value of each project.